What if every time you bought groceries, filled up your car, or paid one of your normal monthly bills, a small piece of that purchase went directly towards your investments? That is basically the idea behind the Fidelity Rewards Visa Signature Credit Card. It earns an unlimited 2% back on eligible purchases with no annual fee, no spending categories to remember, and no limit on how much you can earn. But there is a catch to receive the full 2% value, which we'll cover later in the video. We're going to cover the biggest benefits of the Fidelity Credit Card, how to redeem the points for their maximum value, what real people are saying about Elan Financial Services, the issuer of the Fidelity Credit Card, and who I think this card is actually good for. And something you don't normally see in these videos on YouTube, I will take you into Fidelity and walk through the application process step by step. But before we get started, here's a quick disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am also not encouraging anyone to open a credit card that they do not need. Credit card rewards only benefit you if you pay the balance in full and avoid any interest. Earning 2% back does not matter when you are paying significantly more than that in interest to the credit card companies. So only use a credit card for purchases you can already afford, and make sure the statement balance is paid off in full every single month. All right, let's get started. The Fidelity Rewards Visa Signature Card is a credit card designed to connect everyday spending with your Fidelity savings and investment accounts. For every dollar you spend on an eligible net purchase, you earn 2 reward points. Well, when those points are redeemed as a deposit into an eligible Fidelity account, those 2 points are worth 2 cents. Now, that gives you an effective return of 2% on your purchases. I'll show you how to multiply that return and make it even better. Now, there are no rotating categories to activate, and you do not need to remember which card earns more at certain restaurants this month or which one has a quarterly grocery bonus. You simply use the card for your normal spending and then earn that same flat rate. That makes this what credit card people call a catch-all card. It may not earn the absolute highest reward in every category, but it gives you a competitive return almost anywhere without requiring much effort. And honestly, that simplicity is probably the card's biggest selling point. Now, the first benefit is straightforward. You earn 2 points for every dollar spent on eligible purchases. There is no published spending cap, no category restriction. Spend $100 and you earn 200 points, worth $2 when deposited into the Fidelity account. Now, spend $1,000 and you earn 2,000 points, worth $20. You get it. And spend $2,000 per month on expenses that you are already going to pay, and that works out to around $40 a month, or $480 per year. Now, $480 probably isn't not going to change your life overnight, but this card becomes more interesting when you consistently invest the rewards. So as a simple example, suppose you invested the $40 every month, 30 years in FXAIX, Fidelity's S&P 500 mutual fund. This fund has earned an average of 11.34% return per year over the life of the fund, even though it's actually brought in more than 15% in the last 10 years, but will be more conservative. Now, that 11.34% return could eventually grow to around $122,000 over 30 years. Now, say you spend that $2,000 a month over 30 years or 360 months. That means you would spend over $720,000 over that time. So this $122,000 brings you to a 16.94% return, way more than that 2%. Of course, this is not a guaranteed return, and the market will not earn exactly that every year, but it demonstrates the difference between treating cash back like more spending money and putting it away for your future self. Now, you are still buying the same groceries and paying the same bills, but also investing at the same time. The next benefit is the ability to automate the entire redemption process. Fidelity lets you connect eligible Fidelity accounts and have your points automatically converted into a cash deposit. You can manually redeem the points or have your points be deposited into your designated account at the end of the month. You are also not limited to a single account. Fidelity says you can connect up to 5 eligible accounts and divide your rewards among them. Eligible options include your Fidelity brokerage account, a cash management account, a Roth or traditional IRA, HSAs, Fidelity managed 529 plans. If you use them, a Fidelity Go account as a robo-advisor, and a Fidelity charitable giving account for charities and giving. You can even direct rewards into an eligible account owned by someone that you care about. Now, that could make this an interesting way to contribute small amounts towards a child's college savings plan or another family financial goal. So here's the most important thing to understand about this credit card. The full 2% cashback value only applies when your points are deposited into an eligible Fidelity account. Fidelity also lets you redeem points for things like travel, merchandise, gift cards, or a statement credit. But they specifically say the redemption value is different for those options. So when someone says this card earns 2% cash back, there is an important sentence that needs to come after it. It earns 2% when the rewards are deposited into an eligible Fidelity account. That is why I would not redeem these points for random merchandise or gift cards without first checking the value. The simplest way to maximize the return is to connect an eligible Fidelity account like your brokerage account or cash management account and turn on automatic redemption. One more important detail is that the reward arrives as cash. It is not necessarily invested automatically just because you sent it to a brokerage account. After the cash arrives, you still need to decide what to do with it. You can invest it manually, or you may decide to increase your normal dollar cost averaging system inside of Fidelity to include your average redemption value you get from the spend you put on this card. So don't assume that the spending rewards to a brokerage account automatically means that the money is being invested into like an S&P fund. You also need to be careful about which Fidelity account receives the awards. Depositing the rewards into a normal brokerage account or a cash management account is relatively straightforward. But when you send these rewards into a tax-advantaged account, contribution rules still apply. Fidelity says that the rewards deposited into an IRA or a Fidelity managed 529 plan are treated as current year contributions. That means they can count towards your annual contribution limits. So if you already fully funded your Roth IRA, you do not want another automatic deposit accidentally creating an excess contribution. Personally, I think a regular Fidelity brokerage account or the cash management account may be the simplest redemption destination for anyone worried about contribution limits. Then you can decide where the money should go after it arrives. But that is a personal decision, and you should understand the rules for your specific accounts. The card currently does not have an annual fee. That means you do not have to calculate whether you are earning enough rewards each year to justify keeping the card open. It also has no foreign transaction fees. That is valuable for someone traveling internationally because many credit cards add an additional fee to purchases made outside of the US. And because this is a Visa, it is likely to be accepted everywhere you travel. Now, the Fidelity card also includes up to $100 in reward points when you use the card to apply for either Global Entry or TSA PreCheck. That is especially interesting because this card does not have an annual fee. So just keep in mind the benefit is capped at $100. So it may not cover every dollar of the application fee. The card also currently advertises an auto rental collision damage waiver for up to $75,000. As with any credit card insurance benefit, make sure you read the current terms before relying on it. Coverage can depend on how the rental was booked, which vehicle you rented, where you rented it, and whether you declined the rental company's collision coverage. It is also a secondary policy. The benefit doesn't apply to lost or stolen personal belongings, injuries, medical expenses, or personal liability. So for domestic rentals here in the US, if you already have a personal auto insurance or other insurance that covers theft or damage, this benefit reimburses you for the deductible portion of your coverage, along with any unreimbursed administrative or loss of use charges from the car rental company. So just know that before you try it. This card also comes with zero fraud liability for unauthorized purchases and works with digital wallets such as Apple Pay, Google Pay, and Samsung Pay. You can manage the card, view transactions, receive alerts, and make all the payments through Fidelity's platform. This is probably the biggest benefit. If you already have a Fidelity investing account, the credit card can become another piece of that system. You make your normal purchases, you pay the statement balance in full, the rewards move into Fidelity, and then you invest or allocate that money towards your financial goals. That does not mean everyone needs to put every account in one company, but I understand why someone who already likes Fidelity, like myself, would appreciate having the card and rewards visible in the same general ecosystem. It makes the process simple, keeps all the rewards connected to saving rather than encouraging you to spend them on something else. Now let's talk about the biggest concern that I found while researching this card. The creditor and issuer of the card is Elan Financial Services. Fidelity and Elan are separate companies. Elin reviews the application, decides whether you are approved, sets the credit limit, and handles the servicing of the card. Fidelity cannot guarantee approval simply because you already have money or investment accounts with them. And when you have a problem with the card itself, you may need to work with Elin Financial rather than the amazing Fidelity customer service team that people are used to. So I dove deep into Reddit to see everyone's actual user experience with this credit card, and the experiences were a little mixed. Some people said they had the card for years and never really had an issue. Others said that Elin handled fraud, purchases, disputes correctly and resolved the situation in their favor. Great. But there were also people who described Elin's customer service as frustrating. A few users said disputes or chargebacks were very difficult. One cardholder said purchases were repeatedly declined while traveling internationally, even after notifying Elin about the trip ahead of time. Now, of course, Reddit comments are personal experiences. They do not prove that everyone will receive bad or good customer service. People are also more likely to post online when something goes wrong rather than when a card works normally for 10 plus years. But I do think this is worth understanding. The Fidelity name may make you assume that the Fidelity directly handles every part of the account. It does not. The Fidelity investing experience and Elin's credit card servicing experience may feel very different. Now, another drawback is that this card is fairly basic. It earns a flat 2% when redeemed correctly, but there are other cards that earn 3, 4, or 5% in specific categories. For example, someone may have one card for groceries, another for gas, and another for travel. Now, that system can earn more rewards, yes, but it takes a lot more effort if you're not using a platform like Max Rewards that you have to pay for. Now, the Fidelity card makes more sense for someone who just values simplicity over squeezing every possible dollar out of a complicated collection of credit cards. I would personally think of this as a solid everyday card for purchases that do not earn a higher rate somewhere else. Another disadvantage is there is no upfront welcome offer. Some competing cashback cards offer a bonus like Wells Fargo Active Cash, Navy Federal's Cash Rewards Plus, and Citi Double Cash. These offers can give another card substantially more value, especially during that first year. Now, targeted bonus offers may sometimes exist, but you should only count on a welcome bonus when it appears in the actual offer attached to your application. Reddit stated that these bonuses actually come from Elin Financial, not Fidelity. It could also make sense as a secondary catch-all card for purchases that do not earn a higher bonus on another card. And the lack of foreign transaction fees makes it more useful for travel than many basic cashback cards. Now, on the other hand, this may not be the best card for someone who loves travel point programs, wants a large welcome bonus, or wants to maximize certain categories. It may also not be the right choice for someone who is uncomfortable dealing with Elin Financial Services if a problem occurs. Now, let's walk through the application process. We're going to start on Fidelity's official Fidelity Rewards Visa credit card page. Now, before applying, Fidelity specifically recommends removing any freezes from your credit reports. This is because Elin Financial needs to access your credit information to evaluate the application. Also, remember that applying for a new credit card can result in a hard inquiry, which may temporarily affect your credit score. So do not apply simply to see what happens. Only submit an application when you have reviewed the terms and decided that this card makes sense for you. Okay, so from this page, we're going to select Apply Now. Now, Fidelity does require us to sign in before continuing. For anyone who is not currently a Fidelity customer, they do say that U.S. residents who are at least 18 years old may apply, but you will need to open and fund an eligible Fidelity account to receive the full 2% redemption value. So once we sign in, we'll be taken into the application. Let's go ahead and sign in. Okay, so it takes us to this page where it's going to want us to choose which account we actually take it to. So it says, at the end of the month, we'll convert your reward points to the equivalent dollar amount, and then we'll make a deposit into that account. I like using my cash management account, so we're going to go ahead and do this, and it's a consumer account, not for a business. Now, it does also say, do you have any credit free? Just a reminder to take off any freezes before they access your credit. So we're going to go ahead and click next. It says you are leaving Fidelity.com and going to a website maintained by Elin Financial. We knew that was going to happen. That's okay. So it brings us to this page and just says we're going to review your info. It gives your name, your email, your mobile number, date of birth, address, the country of citizenship, and then, social, and then the account number. So we'll click Save and Continue. So just to be able to determine your credit limit, it's going to ask you a few questions about your monthly housing payment, your total annual income, and then your primary source of income, just to make sure that if you have a stable W-2, that they can kind of count that as security and usually give you a higher credit limit. So we're going to go ahead and fill this out and then click Save and Continue. Okay, so once you hit save and continue, it brings us to this page. It says add an authorized user. This person could receive their own Fidelity Rewards Visa. This is to get like a partner card tied to the same account, and you agree to be solely responsible for all the transactions if they go and try to go on a spending spree. As of right now, we don't have anyone, so we're going to click no, save and continue. So after we click save and continue, it does bring you to this page where just yet again, it wants you to review all the information, your name, your email, number, date of birth, address, all the fun stuff. And then as we go down, it says save and continue. We'll click there. Now we are 90% complete from what it's telling us. Now it wants us to confirm the terms. Here's where I want to reiterate. If you are a person that tends to carry a balance, even no matter how small, I would highly not recommend credit cards. And the reason for is this. This Fidelity Rewards Visa credit card, yes, it pays 2% for every bit you spend. But if you miss 1 month, so you didn't pay off $100, they're going to tack on, this is annualized, 16 to 26% interest on that balance that carries over. This is why it's very important. If you ever have a balance that carries, pay it off. It is usually the highest form of investing in yourself by paying off this high interest debt. Anything over 7 deserves to be paid way before worrying about putting it in the market. So just wanted, since I had it here, I just wanted to let you know. Okay, we reviewed the terms. We're going to go down and click accept terms and submit application. I guess before they want to submit the application, they want us to do just a quick verify with mobile number. So we're going to go ahead and click the send the code. They'll text it to me and we'll put it in here. Okay, we have been approved. Total credit line is $35,000. The credit available now is $10,000 until at least we get the card, which is good. So we're going to go ahead and click continue and use card today. So yet again, this is the terms and conditions that we saw before. Because I do have a high credit score, they did lower it down to the very minimum, 16.49%. That's not super great. It is good for credit cards, but it's not great. I never carry a balance. So sure, if they want to make money, they can make 16.5% on any money that's not paid off by the end of the month. That's all good. If you have any transaction fees, penalties, in case you don't pay it, if you pay it every month, you don't really need to worry about too much of this. So we'll go ahead and down here and click continue. So it brings us to this page. We're going to start using the credit card right away. So you have your card details, your expiration date, your CVV codes, and then your available balance of $10,000 as of right now. So we reviewed the card details and we're going to click continue. Okay, so it looks like the credit card is in the mail. We are going to add it to our Apple Wallet. Okay, so now that we are approved, it usually takes around 24 hours for the card to appear in our Fidelity account. But I want to cover what to do after you get approved. So after receiving and activating card, there are 3 things that I'm going to do with mine and I highly recommend. First, I would turn on transaction alerts. That makes it much easier to catch unauthorized purchases very quickly. Second, I would set up automatic payment for the full statement balance. So make sure the bank account has enough money in it before the payment is withdrawn. And then third, I would set up the rewards correctly. Inside the credit card account, go to the rewards section and select the option to manage or redeem points. From there, you want to add the eligible Fidelity account, like the cash management account that we've chosen, to receive the rewards. You can add up to 5 accounts and even choose how those rewards are divided. Then turn on automatic redemption. And again, after the cash reaches a brokerage account, make sure it actually gets invested rather than just sitting there forgotten. So is the Fidelity Rewards Visa Signature Card worth it? For an existing Fidelity customer who pays their balance in full and wants an easy 2% cashback system, I think it is a very strong option. There is no annual fee, there are no categories to track, and there is currently no foreign transaction fee. And the rewards can automatically move towards investing, retirement, college savings, healthcare savings, or another financial goal that you have. But remember, it is not perfect. The full 2% value requires the correct redemption method. The card is serviced by Eland Financial Services rather than Fidelity, and then customer service reports are mixed. And people who enjoy earning travel rewards may find better options elsewhere. Now, the biggest rule is simple. Never spend extra money just to earn rewards. Use the card for purchases already inside your budget. Pay the statement balance in full and direct that cash back towards something that improves your financial future. If you're looking for a full tutorial on opening a Fidelity cash management account, a brokerage account, a Roth IRA, an HSA, or a 529 plan for your kids, I made videos step-by-step over these. So I'll leave those videos down in the description. And for anyone trying to organize a budget, create more room to save and invest, I also offer one-on-one financial coaching. The information and links are down below so you can save money there too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.